Alright, hello YouTube and YouTube subscribers. Today we're going to be talking about the Malaysian Trumpet snail, also known as the red rim melina, and the scientific name is Melanoides tuberculata. Now this is one of the most common aquarium snails, often acquired by accident. You sometimes get them on plants. Generally from what I've observed though, they tend to spend more of their time in the gravel of the tank. You can actually sometimes see them like tunneling through the gravel. Now there is a benefit of them doing that, is that because they tunnel through the gravel, the trumpet snails can actually help to aerate the gravel, so they get better decomposition of the detritus and stuff in there. And also they actually eat the detritus when they're in the gravel too. And plus the tunneling of them through the substrate also helps to aerate the roots of plants, which you need to keep in mind that the roots of plants need oxygen, not CO2. Plant roots need oxygen. Now, back to the red rim melina, or more commonly called the Malaysian trumpet snail. They tend to have a shell length between 2 to 3 centimeters, even though some can grow to as big as 8 centimeters. Now, the interesting thing about these guys compared to, say, ram's horn snails is that they are oviviparous, which means they basically reproduce like a guppy. So what the females do is after their eggs are fertilized internally by male, the female's eggs are moved to a brood pouch, and the eggs develop inside the brood pouch and hatch inside the mother, and are then released. Now, when it comes to their reproduction, they can either reproduce sexually with male and female, as these snails are not hermaphrodites, they have distinct genders, and females can also reproduce asexually via parthenogenesis, creating more females. So, these guys are known for taking over aquariums, partially because they not only breed quite often, but they can breed at a very early age. Like for example, I said that the average shell length was between 2 to 3 centimeters. They can breed at half a centimeter long. And I'm pretty sure the newborns are about a millimeter in size. No, heck, I got so many of them in here, but I can't really find most of them right now. They're kind of tunneling right now, but this was the only one I could find that was on this tank. And another thing I noticed is that if you have particularly larger fish, like fish that are actually bigger than like the trumpet snails, they tend to be less active at the surface. They tend to spend more time underneath the substrate. So like these scarlet baddies can't really do anything to them. And another thing about these guys is, like, unlike ram's horn snails, they're a bit harder to kill. Like general predation is not as threatening to them. For example, these guys, they got an operculum on their shell, which means they can pull inside their shell and they can seal themselves off, unlike ram's horns, which can't do that. And since they can do that, since they can seal off their shell, it's actually harder for predators such as loaches and betas and some of the other typical snail-killing fish to actually kill these guys. But some coarse stuff like large cichlids can just swallow them whole, so that's one way to control them. Now, another thing I find is these guys, they do eat algae, but I find they don't eat alga as much as the ram's horn snails, because I don't see them climbing around on plants as much. But they do eat detritus more than ram's horn snails do, however. So I think as a cleaner of waste food and of fish poop and just decaying matter, I think the trumpet snail would actually be better than the ram's horns for that. And one thing that's also interesting to note is the trumpet snail is actually closely related to the giant rabbit snails that you can also get. So they're morphologically similar in that both of them produce live young at birth, or live bearing. Now, keep in mind, the trumpet snail is extremely adaptable in terms of water quality and water chemistry. They can survive low oxygen. I've had one trumpet snail somehow get off a tank for a couple hours. It was pre-dried out, and I threw it back in the tank, and then within 30 minutes it was rehydrated and it was moving again. So basically, you don't really have to worry about your water parameters when you're keeping these guys. I don't think these guys like salt, though. And as a snails tend to do a bit better in hard water, simply because it's easier for them to establish their calcium carbonate shell. And, boy, I'm not talking that great today. Sorry about that. But, yeah, so these guys, they can be a pest snail, especially when you got a lot of them. And they can actually there may be way more trumpet snails in your tank than may appear. Because I've actually, my 10-gallon tank over here, I thought I had maybe only 4 or 5 of them in here, and then one night I came in at night and I quickly turned my room lights on. I must have at least 2 dozen snails, 2 dozen Malaysian trumpet snails climbing on the glass. So Malaysian trumpet snail, a bit of a pest because of its reproductive habits, but not really too detrimental to anything since they don't eat plants at all. So thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.